It seems like Google has been working on AI for a long time. It has the data, the compute, the people, it has all the ingredients to just be the dominant AI company in the world. So why isn't it? What do you think happened?
Seems like it got stuck someplace.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly. So just to clarify for everyone, I don't work at Google. I left in 2006. But my perception, as an outsider, I think a lot of it kind of happened, especially around the time of the transition to Alphabet, when the company was no longer really being run by the founders so much, and especially after they left. And I think it became more about protecting and preserving the search monopoly. And so if you think about it from that perspective, they have this gold mine, like search is just so valuable. And AI is an inherently disruptive technology, both in terms of maybe breaking the search business model, where if you actually give people the right answer, they won't need to click on an entire page full of ads. There is, and this was noted, of course, in the very original Google paper back in 1998, that a search company has an inherent tension between profitability and giving the right answer, because there's always a temptation that if you make your results worse, people will actually click on more ads. And so AI has the potential to disrupt that. But I think even more than that, it has the potential to completely anger regulators. And so a lot of Google's business is just dealing with regulators. And so, we know if you put out an AI, it's definitely going to say offensive things. And so I think they were kind of terrified of that. And so even internally, when they were developing, there was a version of a chatbot that Gnome had built. And this is the one that sort of whistleblower claimed was conscious, that I think they called it Lambda. It actually originally had a different name, but they were forced to change the name because the original name was human. So they weren't even allowed to give it a human name. So the original name was something human and it had to be changed to Lambda. But even inside of the company, there were restrictions on what you could put out. They had a version of DALL-E called ImageGen, and it was prohibited from making human form. So even internally, the researchers weren't allowed to generate images of humans. So they were just extremely risk averse, I think is the answer.
And how do you think it would have been different if Sergey or Larry was still in charge and pushing forward?
I mean, I think they can override, risk aversion, right? But it takes someone with that level of credibility to really bet the company or to say, yeah, we're going to do this thing and it's going to cause a lot of problems. But I think that if given the chance, Google never would have launched AI. The only reason they launched it is because OpenAI, put out ChatGPT, and suddenly it became a thing that they were forced to do. And that also helped them too, because, OpenAI took a lot of those bullets in terms of saying crazy and offensive things. And so at that point, then, Google could put out something that was a more sanitized version that, prohibits the existence of white people or whatever. But,
And OpenAI kind of spun out of YC, and you were